Hi, it's Diane again. Thank you for joining me for another episode of SFN. Today we're going to talk about doctoral degrees awarded to black men. The HBCUs are historically black colleges and universities. Going forward, I'll refer to them as HBCUs. They graduate more poor black students than white colleges. HBCUs remain at the forefront of opening doors previously closed to so many. HBCUs make higher education accessible to students who otherwise would have been denied the opportunity. A study by the Education Trust, a Washington, D.C. based nonprofit, revealed that the nation's HBCUs are doing a much better job than predominantly white schools in graduating low-income black students. The study, entitled A Look at Black Student Success, concluded that at the most of the nation's four-year public and private colleges and universities, a significant gap exists between the graduation rates of black students and white students. At the 676 public and private nonprofit institutions included in the Education Trust survey, not including HBCUs, the six-year graduation rate for black students was 45.4%, 19.3 points lower than the 64.7% graduation rate for white students. This is the response that I'm going to show you a picture now of a black doctoral graduate. And this is a response that he gave me to, let me just start from the beginning. This is the response that he gave me for black people from the doctoral candidate. Yes. And the doctoral candidate, the picture that you see, is Gregory E. Holloway. And doctoral candidates are repeatedly told by their professors, "I don't understand. You're being too sensitive. It's your job to communicate, so I understand." Or, "I had it hard too." Gregory goes on to say, "I never shoot the messenger because I believe that understanding is a choice, and it goes beyond the evidence, facts, messengers, or messages. Unfortunately, some people still hold on to beliefs that are contrary to evidence, such as the claim that the election was stolen. It's hard for me to fathom that the many obstacles African American men face while striving to achieve their goals, especially when only 2.9% of them in the U.S. hold doctoral degrees, with just 1,000 awarded each year, according to data from the U.S. Census Bureau. Rather than measuring my success in levels of understanding, I chose to focus on my impact. In December of 2022, I was hired to oversee the foster care department, where I solidified a grant writing timeline and supported a path to $7.4 million in annual Title IV funding. I have the support of the third ranking member of the fifth largest school district in the nation, his second in command, and the assistant superintendent. In recognition of my performance, I was promoted within the first 90 days to develop the next innovative behavioral high school called Harbor High. It will open in the fall of 2023. With CCSDs as Clark County School District's first permanent location dedicated to foster care, with staff located in Region 3, where the highest number of foster youth with and without caregivers reside in Clark County. Tomorrow I will humbly address the primary concerns of my hostile audience: interest levels, legal liability, insurance costs, and usage of personal vehicles, which will move me closer to implementation while ensuring my solution will not become the next problem. So he goes on to express his gratitude, and he says, "I pledge to continue having the courage to acknowledge my strengths as a pragmatist and weaknesses. I'm determined to inspire others who look like me. Believe that regardless of what most people may never understand or percentages, they can achieve their dreams." Now, this is what he wrote in response to this is something that he wrote called "Response to Educational Injustice Blind Spots," because there are educational injustice blind spots. As an educated professional, the future Dr. Holloway goes on to say, it is essential to acknowledge the systemic overpunishment of African American students within the U.S. educational system, mainly due to implicit cultural bias that reinforces the dominant cultural mindset of employees. Reference Shakiba et al. 2011. According to the Office of Educational Services Division, African American students, who count for only 16% of the population, are disproportionately subjected to disciplinary actions, accounting for 31% of all school-related arrests and referrals to law enforcement. This comes from the Office of Educational Services Division, 2023. According to recent research, black female students are 6 to 7 times more likely to be suspended from school than their white female counterparts, referencing Klein, Cornell, and Knoll, 2020. This disparity in treatment has significant consequences for African American students, including higher dropout rates, lower academic achievement, and increased involvement in the criminal justice system. And this is from Fergus and Noguera from 2010. However, research has shown that targeted interventions and cultural sensitivity training for educators can help mitigate these negative outcomes. Lawson and Skiba referenced in 2010. It is crucial to understand that comprehension of other cultures is an active choice rather than a passive reaction, and expecting individuals from different cultures to conform to the dominant culture can result in a missed opportunity to recognize the beauty, benefits, and alternative parenting approaches that can help black children awaken and create generational change, ultimately breaking the cycle of poverty. By acknowledging the impact of implicit cultural bias and implementing evidence-based strategies, we can create a more equitable and just education system that supports the success of all students, regardless of their race or ethnicity. The true definition of equity in schools is working to reduce or eliminate the predictive power historically given to race and ethnicity. This can only be done if we first acknowledge implicit bias, the implicit bias that drives our decisions about children and discipline. Sincerely, Gregory E. Holloway, straight out of Hunters Point, or just a kid from Hunters Point. God willing, as of May 12, 2023 at 4 p.m., Gregory will be awarded his Doctorate of Public Policy. This is my son, my finest contribution to society. He said, "I want to thank you, Mom, for the courage and confidence to chase my dream. I was all in his business when he was growing up. I would spot checks at his schools, definitely participated in the PTA, meeting with teachers and asking how things were going, if there was anything I needed to know. I had to design a weekly progress report for him for his grades. When his grades started slipping, he started liking girls. He hated my undivided attention. When I when I entered the campus, they would say, "Greg, your mom's here, Greg's mom," and he would know I was on campus before I saw him. That was of no consequence to me as his mom. I was his mother, not his friend. We didn't become friends until he matured. So congratulations to all graduates, no matter your color. Congratulations to all graduates. I hope you understand this letter that was written by a doctoral candidate, a doctoral student, Gregory Holloway. You know, the only way, he said, the only way that margins will get erased is if you stand at them. If you go to the margins to make a difference, then it's about you. But if you go to them so they can make a difference in you, then it's about us. Thank you for joining me again on SFN here in San Francisco. I am Diane Wesley Smith. Bye for now.